forgot we come in this door together.
I'm all not wrapped up, but that's okay.
Oh, do you want to take a minute? Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Good, good. Hi, Linda. Nice to meet you.
Good morning, how are you?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Fred Stellum, I'm a 30-year member.
Okay. Good morning. I think it's open. It's fine. I have no idea.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. Whatever the norm is.
I should probably sleep. Okay. All right. It's off right now. I'll turn it on when you need it.
Yes.
You're all out? Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I think auto. Nope, it's on. Not yet. Okay, there it is. We got today. We heard that hearing was an issue, so we bought some mics. We're going to try them out. Excited. What a blessing. This is not working. Okay. All right. That's no. I'm getting. How about this one? Okay. justice in that land where I'm bound. There will be justice.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We gather today in worship. As we gather, we join in our sacred ritual. The flaming chalice, fire for justice, and a warmth for the soul. One of our children, Grace, will light the chalice today. Let's speak together the covenant of our church.
Way deep and the joy become the flame that burns in everyone. We're so glad you are here just as you are, with all that you love and all that has brought you to this space. I'm Pastor Bret, and my pronouns are he, him, his. Joining me this morning in worship are Assistant Minister Reverend Joyce Palmer, Director of Religious Education Lindsay Trank, Music Director Tim Anderson, and our talented choir, as well as our worship associate Linda Kimmel. Autumn Powell, our office manager, is overseeing the tech for us today. She had absolutely nothing to do with the mic problem.
I'm Reverend Joyce Palmer, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. If you're in person, do join us for coffee hour after the service. Today, the board and caring team are providing hospitality, and you are invited to join us for a welcome reception for Rev Bret. If you are online, do like, comment, and share this worship service. If today is your first day worshiping with us, we are thrilled that you are here. Let us know who you are so that we can be in touch. Lindsay Trank, our Director of Religious Education, is working with our new program assistant, Liz Long, in the nursery. And thank you to those adult volunteers who are learning with our children today. Katie Conrad and Lisa Schultz-Volkman are with our 1st through 3rd graders. Kim Lohman-Volmer is with our 4th through 6th graders. And Arts Benedict and Ashley Barrett are with our youth. Also, the noise of children is always welcome here, but please do silence your electronic devices. I also have an announcement about the hearing assisting devices. They have been not cooperating today as well, so you may have a little buzz, but we're working on it.
Good morning. Good morning. I can use my coach voice. I'm Linda Kimmel. We gather today on the ancestral lands of the Ho-Chunk and Potawatomi people, and we are humbled to be on this sacred ground. This land, this nation, nation, our faith, and our lives are shaped by the complex history of oppression, freedom, resistance, migration, conflict, justice, and hope. From these legacies, we learn, grow, reflect, seek healing, give thanks, and strive to build a better world for those who will inherit our choices.
I trust that you are receiving our newsletter, The Kairos. If not, be sure to subscribe to stay informed about upcoming events and activities. This week, I'd like to draw your attention to our memorial service planning sheet. When I started here 4 years ago, I heard there were memorial planning forms in the files. Well, I have looked in the files, and yes, there are a few forms, but they were done 20 years ago. As a congregation, we know how important it is to honor each person's life in a way that reflects their values, spirit, and story. So join me next wonderful Wednesday, October 1st at 6 p.m. to complete your form. There is also a link in Kairos. If you need assistance at accessing or completing the form and can't attend, please let me know. At this point, I have one form, so thank you, that one person, for doing that. Today, we have so much going on after the service. I want to thank our volunteer leaders of the Sunday morning meditation group. They will now meet every Sunday at 9:15. Thanks to Mike Ulrich, Rich McKnight, and Ellen Almer. Thank you. Today, after the service and a little cake, the service reflection group will meet in the library. Parent orientation for 7th through 9th grade OWL, Our Whole Lives sexuality program, will meet downstairs in the Commons. There is an elevator near the office. Our young adult group, the UU 2030s, will meet in the youth room. Each month, we'll be spotlighting the work of one of our faith and action teams. For this month, we're focusing on our racial and economic justice team, and I'm pleased to invite Gloria to come forward and share what they've been working on.
This is going to be a real test. I don't have a preacher's voice or a coach's voice, so I'm going to try. Good morning. I'm Gloria Perez. My pronouns are she, her, and in Spanish, ella. Scott Darwick and I co-lead the Racial and Economic Justice team. This past wonderful Wednesday, we hosted Reverend Violet Joniker, the Executive Director of Rockford Urban Ministries, otherwise known as RUM. She brought much energy and depth to the work of RUM itself. Namely, she talked about the history of the Rockford Crop Walk and the increasing need for ways to help feed people. Doesn't work. I'm trying. RUM is involved in many social justice activities within our community and offers opportunities for members of our congregation to become involved. We will keep you posted on what they're up to. The art exhibit, Uncaged Art, will be in our Now Fest on Friday, October 3rd and Saturday, October 4th, with a panel discussion on Sunday, October 5th. Check the Kairos for more information. Thank you.
Let us worship together. We gather and worship together. We begin with the prayers of the people, the naming of joy and sorrow, the holding in heart of those we love. We hold in our hearts all those recovering from illnesses and experiencing maladies of body or soul. May mercy and healing attend them. Prayers for Misha Sanders, Kyle, and Jax as they are having a tough time as a family. For Jan Henningsen, who is having heart surgery this week. And a celebration for Joey Stoas, is officially licensed as a clinical social worker. Congratulations, Joey. Sue Aber reached out to me this week. She wanted me to update you on her health condition. Sue has been diagnosed with multiple myeloma, but is grateful for treatment that makes this a manageable disease. She is undergoing weekly chemotherapy for the next 6 months in Evanston Hospital, while staying with her daughter's family. Her first treatment went better than she expected, and she feels confident that she can handle this journey. Sue apologizes for missed responses to cards and calls and wants everyone to know how much she misses our congregation. She holds us close to her heart and asks that when we sing "Come Share a Rose with Me," we think of her and the connection it represents. I invite you in this space to name those aloud or in silence who you're holding in your heart this morning. Blessed be, and amen.
There's a thread you follow. It goes along things that change, but it doesn't change. People wonder about what you are pursuing. You have to explain about the thread. It's hard for others to see. While you hold it, you can't get lost. Tragedies happen. People get hurt or die, and you suffer and get old. Joy happens, new birth. You find your way, you connect. Nothing you do can stop time's unfolding. Don't let go of the thread.
Our story for all ages this morning is entitled "The Invisible Web" by Patrice Karst, illustrated by Joanne Lou Vierthoff. The very best news ever has begun to spread all over the world, one heart at a time. Shouted out from the mountaintops, every single one of us is connected to those we love by invisible strings. That means Giovanna and her daddy are always together, even though he moved to a new house. Omar can feel the tugs of love from his parents, even though he is living far away at school. Mr. Chang still feels Mrs. Chang close by, even though she died such a very long time ago. And you, at this very moment, may feel the string of someone close to you, even though they aren't there. You can't see it, but it's real. Our strings reach to everyone we know. They travel far and wide, to families and friends, classmates and coaches, to bus drivers and babysitters, neighbors and pets, to aunts and uncles and grandparents and grandchildren and countless other people. And all those people have hundreds of strings. Soaring high over rocky peaks and across the 7 seas, deep into jungles and valleys, and winding through the busiest of cities, all these strings crisscross one another and create a nest that covers the planet, interlacing us together, cradling us forever, the invisible web. The web has no borders and wraps every continent. Within it lives butterflies and flowers, starfish and seahorses, lions and ants, rivers and snowstorms, and all human beings. Giovanna, Omar, Mr. Chang, and of course, you and me too. Some say it even reaches to our ancestors and those we cherish in the beyond. One tug on a string sends love to every one of us, woven together in this divine tapestry. And that means just one good deed travels across the entire web. Everything is linked. But sometimes folks forget. When they can't feel their strings, they forget about their invisible web. And that's when strings get tangled up. Or when Stefano wishes his friend Marco wasn't so bossy when they played. Or when Mrs. Patel struggles at work without help and she just wants to quit. Even violence and war can erupt when too many of us forget the web. When strings are ignored, they can become weak and begin to unravel. But the more people who care for the web, the stronger it remains. The web feels like every parent since the beginning of time, holding and protecting each one of us in millions of gentle arms. So many supportive fingers can always find a way to untangle strings so that love can flow again. But it's up to every one of us to spread the word. Our time is right now. As we tell our family and friends, sisters will remind brothers, who will write to cousins, who will call their great-grandparents, who will just nod and smile as if they have always known. If we remember the web and tug at it often, nobody will be left out. We will see ourselves more clearly. The people of the world will look into each other's eyes. They will smile at one another. And when one of them cries, they will all want to help. And they do. Marco apologizes to Stefano, who forgives his friend, and they have even more fun playing. Someone helps Mrs. Patel at work and tells her what a great job she's doing. She remembers that she's important and feels happy. And Louisa feels warm and bubbly inside when a few of the kids in class ask her to join them under the banyan tree for lunch. She knows right then that the invisible web is real. After school, Louisa is happy as she strokes her cat, who purrs the news to the stars. And the stars whisper the secret to the clouds, who share it with the songbirds, who serenade the world with this exquisite melody of love at the start of each morning and all during the day, until, as the invisible web glitters in the magic of twilight, the owls take over and hoot the news throughout the night. The invisible web is alive. It's time right now. It breathes as we breathe, pulsating all over the earth, the single heartbeat of life and love. And that makes us one very big family. As our children and youth go on to explore and learn in the religious education program, let's sing the first verse of This Little Light of Mine. Let's celebrate their journey and the light they bring to the world. Oops. Tethered.
Our first reading this morning, let's come over this side. Our first reading this morning, the Unitarian Universalist Association's Covenant on Co-Ministry, is something a little different. Reverend and Joyce are going to read it together, and in doing so, will affirm a covenant that honors our two paths now yoked into one shared ministry. Later in the service, you and I will share a covenantal moment as These are some of the threads that connect us. All Unitarian Universalist ministers abide by the Ministers' Association covenant. Yet covenants risk being just words on a page enacted in beloved community. It is here they are tested and affirmed.
Therefore, Rev Bret and I will share these words that have long guided our separate ministries, joined now in the ministry of this church. Thus, united in our call to serve the spirit of love and justice through the vocation of ministry in the liberal religious tradition, we covenant with one another
to conduct ourselves with integrity, honoring the trust placed in us,
to embody in our lives the values that we proclaim on behalf of our faith,
to support one another in collegial respect and care, understanding and honoring the diversity within our association,
to hold ourselves accountable to each other for the competent exercise of our vocation,
to use our power constructively and with intention, mindful of our potential unconsciously to perpetuate systems of oppression,
to seek justice and right relations according to our evolving collective wisdom, and to refrain from all abuse or exploitation,
to cultivate practices of deepening awareness, understanding, humility, and commitment to our ideals,
to labor earnestly together for the well-being of our communities and the progress of Unitarian Universalism.
We recognize that none of us is perfect and all are works in progress. We hold one another in love as, through fidelity to this covenant and our code of professional conduct, we aspire to grow in wholeness and bring hope and healing to our world.
Amen.
Amen. The second reading by The Threads in My Hand. Only one end of the threads I hold in my hand. Linking my life with other lives. One thread comes from a life that is sick. It is taut with anguish, and always there is the lurking fear that life will snap. I hold that thread tenderly. I must not let it go. One thread comes from a high-flying kite. It quivers with the mighty current of fierce and holy dreaming, invading the common day with far-off places and visions bright. One thread comes from the failing hands of an old friend. Hardly aware I am of the moment when the tight line slackened and there was nothing at all, nothing. One thread is but a tangled mass that won't come right. Mistakes, false starts, lost battles, angry words, a tangled mass. I have tried so hard, but it won't come right. One thread is a strange thread. It is my steadying thread. When I am lost, I pull it hard and find my way. When I am saddened, I tighten my grip and gladness glides along its quivering path. When the waste places of the spirit appear in arid confusion, the thread becomes a channel of newness for life. One thread is a strange thread. It is my steadying thread. I think God holds the other end. Thus ends the readings.
rise in body or spirit as I get untangled with my thread as we sing our next hymn.
It's number 22. We're gonna try that.
Now can you hear me? All right. I have always been curious about what brings people to the Unitarian Church. Were they raised Unitarian? Were they dissatisfied with a previous religion? Were they curious about this one? What were they seeking? Well, here's my story. I grew up unchurched. My dad was raised Baptist and swore he had enough church as a child that he would never need to attend again. My mom was born Jewish. After fleeing Nazi Germany, she was assisted by the Quakers, but never attended their church regularly. While I enjoyed not having a commitment every Sunday morning, I felt something was missing in my life. I couldn't answer the question, what religion are you? I did not know the traditional Bible stories that are frequently referenced in our society. My Catholic friends told me I would go to hell for not being baptized and going to church. I started trying out various churches with my friends: Catholic, Lutheran, Presbyterian, Methodist, Jewish. I did not like the long sermons. Concepts of God's will and original sin did not make sense to me. None of these churches felt right. Then, when I was a junior in high school, a Unitarian fellowship formed in our community. I was hired to run the nursery and preschool room. What high school kid would turn down a chance to earn easy money? Gradually, I started learning about Unitarianism, and I liked what I heard. It felt right. My husband grew up in the Quaker and Moravian traditions, but did not feel strongly about these. We knew we wanted our children to be raised in a church where they could learn important religious concepts and be accepted for the unique individuals they are. We moved to Rockford in 1978. I suggested we try out the Unitarian Church since it had felt right to me back in high school. He agreed, and we started attending this church. The people were friendly and encouraged us to participate in church activities. I appreciated the open exploration of ideas. I appreciated the emphasis on the worth and dignity of all people. I liked the emphasis on caring for our earth and the living beings on it. I liked that the members were actually living out these principles. Our son with special needs was welcomed and accepted. We felt welcome. I felt like I belonged. My husband eventually decided he would rather worship privately, often to the gods of the green fairways, and stopped attending. I decided to stay and worship with my friends in the church. I had found my church home. Life takes many twists and turns, so for several years I did not attend church very often. Now I'm back, and it feels good to be home. We now take up an offering to support the work of justice and mercy in the world. 80% of what we collect today will go to the Rockford Area Crop Walk. Thank you for your generosity. The offering will be given and most gratefully received.
Will you join me in a spirit of prayer, meditation? In stillness, in silence, In the pause between what has been and what will be, we wait. We wait with the stillness. We wait with the silence. In the pause between where we have been and where we will be, we breathe. We breathe with the stillness. We breathe with the silence. In this pause, between music and words, thought and no thought, now and then, we find stillness. We find silence. What are they saying to us? What are they saying to you? Today's service continues our theme of belonging. During an interim period between settled ministers, we must be intentional about these threads that hold us together. As we heard in the story this morning, these threads take many forms. They get tangled sometimes. They have to be pulled apart. A few weeks ago, we witnessed the board covenanting together. And this morning, Reverend Joyce and I entered into covenant. These are some of the threads that hold us together. At the end of the sermon, it'll be your turn, and I will invite you to covenant with me for this first year of interim work. It's been more than 17 years since you've had an interim minister, and this is a time to be intentional, tracing these threads of covenant through our tradition, this congregation's history, your lives. As Howard Thurman suggested in our reading, we hold the ends of these strings connected to people that we care about, visions of who we have been and want to be, and the dreams and the tangled messes of life. The question is this: how do we stay present in these moments and plan for the future? A lot of times congregations want to skip interim. They want to get to the end. They want to get to the next chapter, right? They want to get to the real stuff. How do we stay in this present here together where the real stuff of life is still happening and plan for the next big moments in your congregation? So that's the work of this year. To not only focus on where we're headed, but on that spiritual journey of now. I just made that up. The spiritual journey of now. This interim time is more than a technical or adaptive shift. It's a spiritual journey. It's a time to reflect, find joy in our challenge in our time together, and continue to address the needs of our times. I made the mistake this morning of turning on the news. There are many needs in our society right now. We will continue to do the work that we've always done. And we're going to have some fun. So, this is working? Oh, good. This is working. So I want to introduce to you the interim ministry process or tasks or, the process of interim ministry. And I thought I'd have a little fun. I've got a box here of tools, things from Vanlife. Then we're going to talk about that in a minute too. But I've got some things. You're going to remember this now, right? Because a picture is worth 1,000 words. So we've got some van tools or interim tools. Apparently they work both ways. So, making a mess here. So the first thing in my tools, first thing we're going to do together is we're going to explore your history. That's the first process of interim ministry. And to represent that, I have a little campfire. Metaphorically, gathering around the fire and telling our stories. And I'm not going to untangle them, but I brought a couple chairs. To sit and listen. Me listening to your stories and taking it all in. If I don't listen, then why am I here? That's most important. Second one is identity. We're going to explore the identity of this congregation, who you are, how you view yourself, and to represent that. Because when Cindy and I go to campgrounds, you'll often see people, they put out their little flags. So Cindy and I put in, oh, but wait. Cindy, my wife, she's from Chicago, and I'm from Los Angeles. Yes, we're a blended family. Whoa! I will say, that in that fateful World Series, I realized about halfway through I had to claim an identity, and I went with the Cubs. I'm like, started rooting for the, so. Leadership. What did I have for leadership in my little toolbox? Oh, let's see. Oh, I forgot my other identity flag. Oh, there's my leadership too. Sometimes life is a tangled mess. And that's a flag. Yeah. Wait, we share that one, don't we? I once had a colonel come into my office when I was a military chaplain and look at this, and looked at me, looked at my flag, and then looked at me, really serious. He said, "You're the chaplain. You're the kind of chaplain I've always wanted to have." That's what we bring to the world, right? That's our flag, our identity. So, leadership, represented by my multi-tool. Everyone needs a multi-tool. I almost couldn't find my multi-tool this morning, so I thought maybe I would invite us to together go to the hardware store, metaphorically. Because we all need our multi-tools, right? It's not just my multi-tool to fix stuff and open things. It's yours. You come with your tools too. So we're going to look at the leadership of this congregation, how you govern yourself, how you make decisions, how you have made decisions, how you might want to make decisions. It's all part of the interim process. Multi-tool. Connections. I got to reuse a prop. Connections. The rope. The threads that bind us. We've already talked a lot about that this morning. And then finally, there's Jetpig. I was going to talk about him, but now I'm not going to. Jetpig is going to wait. Binoculars, because we're going to look to the future. And these let us see far into the distance, right? What's ahead? What are the pitfalls? What's lurking? And then, along with that goes the gazetteer to find where we are, actually, right? Gazetteer, not just a map, but one that gives us the global view and the detailed view. So these are some of the tools. This is the five processes, the 5 tools of interim ministry that we're going to work together this year, maybe a second year. History, identity, leadership, connection, and the future. How about that? We did have some fun. Over 37 years, Cindy and I have been together 37 years. I did want to spend a few moments this service as well and have us get to know each other a little bit better. Because you're probably wondering who I am, where I've been. And we're just going to touch on that just a little bit and then get back to the work ahead. But Cindy and I, over 37 years of marriage, we've had quite a few campers. We had the Volkswagen bus, we had the Volkswagen Westphalia, we had a big egg thing that looked like a rolling fiberglass egg, teardrops. And we have learned a little bit about how to survive on the road, making transitions and embracing the unexpected. We just kind of looked at some of the tools that we've needed on the road and how they related to, interim ministry. In 2003, Cindy and I spent almost a year living in a camper van. It was something between a self-funded sabbatical and experimental retirement. Both are over, apparently. Life had brought us back from overseas with an early and unexpected retirement from the Air Force. And we thought we'd go full-time nomadic for the next 2 years. We lasted 10 months. Why? Aside from living in 133 square feet with a dog, and I measured it out, it's like from here to the wall, 130 square feet. We decided we wanted to stay married. But aside from that, we missed our threads, our connections in ways that we did not anticipate. We, vagabonding from national park to national park was wonderful, but we missed family and friends. We missed our threads, community. In the end, the threads of community called us home. And yet, after 9 major cross-country and international moves through 19 homes, we're actually moving into our 20th home together next week. It wasn't obvious where we belonged. We really wonder, where do we belong? Los Angeles, Chicago? We spent our time in Texas, but we knew that one wasn't it. So, okay, delete. So last year, we decided, we had a good time in South Texas, actually. Another time. Last year, we decided on Madison to be near our son and our family and our 2 granddaughters, Belle and Dory, 24 months and 6 months. Now they're a little older, right? We just bought what we're calling our forever home, and we're actually talking about aging in place. We bought a house without a second floor. We're thinking about staying somewhere. This is new. And so I will tell you, when this job popped up, really unexpectedly, it was, I think, a month and a half ago, we weren't even thinking about this. So I got a couple calls. The church in Rockford could use an interim, and you got a couple calls, and I considered moving down here. So it was almost an obvious thing. Oh, let's move to Rockford. And Cindy said, no. She said it almost like the aforementioned granddaughter, no. And she reminded me of our commitment to trying out this whole settling down thing. It's nice to be partnered with someone wiser than yourself. While using nomadic life as a metaphor for interim ministry has been whimsical, don't be distracted. The stakes remain very high. Our country, with all its flaws, false starts, and historical sins, is in peril. Society needs us, needs progressive religious voices more than ever. So the health of this congregation matters. And please hear me. Hear me clearly. This is a healthy church. Many congregations in transition are not. Many are hot messes. In fact, it was what I have seen of you I served in Chicago for many years. I've known this church for many years. So it's the strength and the identity that I've known you that brought me here. I didn't want to serve a hot mess. You are strong, faithful to your values, you know who you are, so I don't plan on coming in and breaking things just to repair them, all right? Not gonna happen. I'll be curious. These are my vows to you. Observant. I might even nudge you towards growth. But the choice to accept or reject suggestions will always be yours. Being born in April, I may be an astrological Taurus, but I promise not to be a bull in this beautiful china shop. If I start to break things, call me on it. The stakes are very high. We saw it this past week in a horrible and inexcusable act of political violence. Instead of using this moment to unite us in nonviolence, the White House has started compiling a list of left-wing organizations, such as the Ford Foundation, George Soros's Open Society Foundations, it says, are tied to political violence. The reality, I looked into it a little more deeply. I thought, I didn't think they supported violence. No, it's accountable government transparency, justice equality, support for minority groups, humane drug policies, reforming criminal justice, voter registration, funding scholarships, supporting access to health care. That's us. Those are the values that we support. And in fact, just this morning I heard what was this quote? I usually don't do this. Actually, I don't quote a lot from the news. But the goal of eliminating wokeism from the American pulpit. And they were specifically referring to the pulpit, religious institutions. This could all describe us. These are the struggles to which we belong. I bring it up now as I'm introducing interim because I want to tell you the work is not going to be put on pause. The work continues. If these things are criteria for a blacklist, our association certainly fits. This pulpit fits. To quote my favorite Democratic socialist punk rock icon, Billy Bragg, before he sold out, if you've got a blacklist, I want to be on it. We could lose our tax-exempt status, says one White House official. The stakes are very high. So high, in fact, that my word processor's AI function suggested cutting that last paragraph because it was too controversial. It said, don't mention that. You might not want to mention that. It didn't want me talking about these little bits of news. It tried to keep me out of trouble. And I thought about it. Are we the kind of faithful who avoid trouble when the lives of others are at stake? Are we the kind of people who back away from trouble when the lives of other people are at stake? No. Okay, I like that. Yeah, I heard it. The stakes are very high, not only politically, but ecologically. Timothy Beale writes in When Time is Short that we're already living in the ecological end times. He encourages a response of love and connection, but not denial. This is not the time for people like us, religious institutions like ours. I just noticed that pronoun. I was saying yours earlier. Ours. Christian author David McLaren, in his latest book, Life After Doom, I'm doing a little light reading lately. He writes that now is not the time for churches to wait passively for the end times of civilization to come. A popular speaker, McLaren, says he gets hired to provide hope. He's a former pastor. People want hope from him and guidance. He says, I've done my best to do so, but in the last several years, it's been harder and harder to keep doing that, he writes. He says he wants to grab every pope, bishop, denominational executive, pastor, and seminary professor by the lapels and yell, "What the bleep are you doing?" And he didn't say bleep. Arguing about theological trivialities as the world burns, worrying about preserving organ music and quaint architecture as the sixth mass extinction is unfolding. Why aren't you reorganizing everything, he said? Aren't you in the saving business? We are in this, I love you guys. You guys are already nodding. We are in the saving business, and we must focus our efforts where they matter most. This interim period asks us to consider, what are we arguing about that we don't need to? That may be a question I ask. I don't know. I can say this with honesty. I haven't heard a lot of the arguments yet. But as I hear them, I hope that I might be curious about them in this way. Do we need to be arguing about that? It's not about, by the way, organ music and beautiful architecture. McLaren doesn't say stop enjoying classical music and beautiful things or art. Now more than ever, we need to find joy where it exists and while we focus on what matters. This interim period invites examination. The times in which we live make it relevant in new ways. It's time to step up our game and ask the good questions. Where can we focus so our impacts are maximized? These commitments to love are the threads that bind progressive religious people together. While I may not believe the same things about God, while we may not believe the same things about God or prayer, I've never seen UUs fail to unite against the oppression of bullies and the impacts of our actions. So rest assured, our work for justice will not cease during this interim. It will not cease. Interim periods are about belonging. In them, we explore what that means. To whom do we belong? Whose are we? Who are we? What holds our attention? What guides our vision? Do you belong here? Do I belong here? Yes and yes. We live within a covenant grounded in love. It may sound easy, but that's not. As humans, it's easy to act out of malice or hurt, but our covenant calls us back into peace, and our covenant calls us back into action. So what does this interim year look like? It looks like this hour. Asking some questions, examining our world through our UU lens, getting a little riled up, sharing some laughter and some joy, all together. Speaking love and resistance to power, we will fold it into this work that we've always done, these goals. And, as I said, we will have fun as we have this morning. What's the point if we're not having fun? A little bit, right? Thank you. We will grieve the losses of what was, expectations unmet, and the weight of change. Because in the same, we must. We will get serious as we have this morning. We will be in covenant as we affirm today. We will explore questions. We will dream dreams. We will examine and renew. And before we close this morning, we have one more task to accomplish, and that is to enter into covenant together. You and I now specifically. I'd like to invite Wendy up to lead your part of the covenant. Covenant, consistent with our understanding of the covenant that binds us in an evolving living tradition, together we share the leadership and ministry of this congregation.
Please join me. Rev Bret, we, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Rockford, look to you to provide spiritual leadership, historical and theological perspective, assistance with setting and implementing our mission, guidance in navigating through the work of the interim period, oversight of our programs, leadership of our staff team, and administration of our operations in collaborative partnership with lay leaders and staff. Will you, as our interim minister, with an open heart, strive to do your best in fulfilling these goals?
I will. I don't want to respond from symbolically on high. I want to respond from the floor. And in response to this call, I will look to you to live out your mission and your vision, to demonstrate effective leadership, to enthusiastically engage in the transitional work of the interim period, be open to change, broaden the meaning of community, and communicate issues or concerns in a forthright and respectful manner. Will you, with good hearts, strive to do your best in fulfilling these goals? If so, please say, we will. Yeah.
Good morning. So, I don't think we've sung this in at least 21 years. Others, perhaps before I got here, but it's worth us having a go at it before we actually do it together. So if you'd grab your gray hymnal, it's number 194. It's called Faith is a Forest. And the thing that's interesting about this is there are only 5 tones that are in the melody. Da da dum ba da dum bum 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 bum. And you can see it's a Chinese folk melody, so it's based on that scale that is distinctive of that particular type of music. So I'm going to sing a line and have you sing it back. The choir, I think the word I used is infiltrating to help. If you want a choir person standing next to you, just raise your hand and they'll come find you. Some people are beyond help, I don't know. I'll sing a line and sing it back to me, and we'll just do the first verse. Faith is a forest Faith is a forest in which doubts play and hide. Faith is a forest in which doubts play and hide. Inside can hear the still small voice deep inside. Inside can hear the still small voice deep inside. Web of life, may this thread I weave. Web of life, may this thread I weave. Strength and commitment to all I believe. Strength and commitment to all I believe. Vision be my guide as I seek my way. Vision be my guide as I seek my way. Lead me into this tender day. Lead me into this tender day. Speak through me in all I do and say. Speak through me in all I do and say.
As Tim gets settled, let's rise in body and spirit.
Inside
Linda will extinguish the chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry with us until we are together again. While she does that, I invite you to hold hands for our benedictions. If you'd rather not be touched, place your hands in your pockets or on your shoulders. The words of our benediction are 1 Corinthians 16. Keep alert, stand firm in your faith. Be courageous, be strong. Let all that you do be done in love. Let us now sing our closing blessing.